Well, thank you, Terry. Good morning, everyone. My name is Himanshu. I'm a senior director at Infosys. And I have with me my colleague Ashok. Hope all of you had a great morning. Some of you might have even come from your 5K runs. Anybody having done a 5K and still here? Not a problem. I actually had signed up for one, but I decided this was equally important, so I decided to stay back, right? Otherwise, I would have come in my 5K t-shirt by itself. Anyways, moving on to the topic of the day, what we're going to present today is about how do you take Appian as a core platform, apply the fundamentals of AI, automation, machine learning, text analytics, and create a digitally powered process automation platform which you can use for your digital transformations today. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about Infosys before we jump on. I am hoping most of you know Infosys, but in case not, Infosys is a $10 billion in annual revenues company, right? Around 200,000 employees. And what we pride ourselves in very specifically is right out here on the right-hand side, 98% of our business is repeat business, which means the customers that we work with, the Fortune 1000 customers that we work with, decide to work with us every time when we sign on projects. That's the delivery, that's the quality that we produce on the table. The second part that has now emerged a lot is more than 60% of our company is design thinking trained and certified. So when we start working on our projects, we bring in a lot of design thinking principles to the digital transformation that we bring to the table. Yeah. Now, two questions that typically get asked. How do you put your digital strategy into action, right? Most of you, when you walk into your offices every day, you would be faced with some of these fundamental questions saying, why are we not going digital all out? Why are we still in a mix of analog and digital world, right? The second question which gets asked most of the time is this fundamental. How do you connect the dots? By the way, can anybody see the pattern here? Can anyone tell me what that picture was? Mona Lisa, perfect, right? See, your mind detected a pattern, you were able to get it done. But in the real life, in your morning life, when you go into the offices, do you see all these patterns? Your boss is coming and talking to you about, hey, I've used Appian as a core workflow. I've used it as a case management here and there. I've got a robotic tool, maybe a Blue Prism and Automation Anywhere. I've got MuleSoft or any other integration. I've got AI, ML, Azure. Have you ever thought of stitching about all of this together? Right? Now, that's exactly where we come in and help our customers stitch it all together with the power of the digital platform that we have stitched together in our stories. So moving forward, what is it? How do we simplify your digital transformation journeys? Another question which gets asked to me is, we are doing a project which will enhance our customer experience drastically. We're creating a fantastic mobile app, right? Or we are doing a fantastic app which will enable our customer onboarding. Or we are building a fantastic workflow for improving our operations. However, what we have noticed is most of the time, it is an or conversation. It's not an and conversation, right? What I mean by that is most of the time we see our customers doing a digital experience or a digital operations story and initiatives. What we fail to realize that it's an and story, not an or story. What you end up doing in your front end, if you do not back it up with digitization in your core back-end systems, you will never get the real experience. And vice versa. If you're trying to do something drastic in your back end, be it replacing your IT systems, modernizing it, changing your mainframes, it has connections to your digital experience. If you do not stitch the dots, you'll always be in trouble because you never figured out the right digital mantra to doing it. So how do you actually do it? And when you are trying to do it, what are the things that you need to look out for? The first thing that you need to look out for is how do you look out for the amplification of customer experience on the left-hand side? How do you take this platform and amplify your efficiencies and productivities for your employees? And by doing both of them together, how do you become more profitable? How do you go ahead and get more yield for your customers? And we're going to show you a demo where we have stitched together some of these principles back into this world and help in going into the digitally native world. Now, for you to be able to do it, we've also created this digital automation platform, which we'll talk about in a minute. And we're also speaking about the journey that you need to take. The first beat of the journey starts from where do you get your inspiration from for becoming a digitally platform company? How do you design the journey? Is it a sequence of one project, a large program, a sequence of 20 different projects? How do you design the journey by itself? How do you define the right architecture for your digital automation platforms? And obviously, how do you execute for it? Because it's not just defining the journey and the strategy, it's also about execution. So let's see it in action in the next slide right now. Does it look like your inspiration? It sure is for us, right? This picture here conveys where we get our inspirations for when we design our digital systems. It's the people, and loads of them. Right? Can you figure out that specific person within all these people that belongs to your customer journey? Or are you still trying to draw your customer personas? Right? Do personas refer to the segmentations or do they refer to the individuals? That's where the inspiration is. Now, let me also tell you another story. That story is right here. That thing on the right hand side, if you see, are ATM machines. If you notice the difference in those two pictures, the one on the large side, people are standing up to be able to even transact in their ATM. You see that step up on the bottom? Why did that happen? Because this company in Portugal, when they launched their standard ATM machines, which worked fantastically well across the world, didn't empathize with their customers. That the average height in that country was 2 inches shorter. Never ever empathized, never took that inspiration, designed their systems right away so that they thought they will work. It did not. People are not using their systems. Right? That's the inspiration you need to take in terms of empathizing with the customers and designing your journeys. Moving forward, once you have taken the inspirations, what happens next? How do you design the journey? This is exactly where we use a lot of design thinking methodology and principles, which is exactly on the right hand side for the uninitiated in design thinking. What is design thinking? Look at it, the 3 circles in the center. Desirability, viability, feasibility. Whatever service offering product that you're trying to launch, is it desirable out here? Would people desire for it as a need? Is it viable enough, right? From a cost perspective, from a business case perspective, and is it feasible enough from a technology implementation perspective? If you're able to get to the sweet spot, the intersection of all these 3, trust me, you're at the right place. That's exactly what Uber did as an example, right? So we take all of those inputs, be it from our inspirations, be it from all the digital stories and the visions that your CIO and the CDO might have created for you, right? We mix and match it together, take our customers through a set of workshops and journeys, which they themselves come back and turn it into a set of initiatives and projects, which is what gets reflected on the right hand side, right? Moving forward, that's how you design the journey. What happens to the platform architecture though? What's that right architecture that you need for you to be able to go ahead and start doing this? If you see in the center is all about your Appian engines that you already have. You do not need to do anything different with it, right? Today you use it as a workflow and a case management engine. You can continue to use it right there. You can add on robotics, and we'll talk about why you can add on robotics. You can add on the right hand side real-time decisioning, the event-driven architecture and the real-time decisioning. It's a very important fundamental mix to the party, and we'll show it in the demo why. On the left hand side, the first part, we have added fundamentals from our customer genome and a customer DNA solution, which extracts everything about the customer and gives you the insights, the right insights from all of your systems of records so that you can take real-time action. On top is the cognitive AI, anything that you can sense, text, speech, all those fundamentals, which we are using as a third-party library that we have built in our platform. So typical ones that you would use, the Amazon Alexas and the Azure and the Amazon AIs, the Google OCRs, and so on and so forth, right? Bottom part is the machine learning fundamentals. We have generated a lot of algorithms. We can work with you as well to take your own data and convert them into the machine learning training patterns and algorithms that we use out there. It's available on all infrastructure options that you might be able to do. And last but not the least, we have created an API management platform, which is a mix of API and microservices with which you can drag and drop and start building your own APIs. But that's the fundamental features of the platform that go into making this entire journey feasible for you. Now let's see the next slide. In a demo, how does it all come together? And the session that I did, the slides that I covered up front so far, typically are a 3-hour presentation and a workshop by itself. So I'm happy to get into details after this conversation. But let's see how it all connects together with a quick demo.
Hi. Am I audible? Hello? Am I audible? Yeah, awesome. My name is Ashok. I love photography. I'm not a pro, but sometimes I put photographs on Twitter. So I received suggestions from my friend about the way the photographs look. So one of my friends suggested that I need to use a different type of lens, a high aperture lens. But those are not cheap. So I received a tweet from my camera company that they're going to offer me a 20% off on these type of lenses. It was perfect because it was timely and it was exactly what I needed.
Yeah. Very interesting, right? Now this seems so easy and you keep on getting these offers all the time, right? But what just happened out here in the background? This is exactly what happened. We've created a model in Appian which goes ahead, goes to your social media tweets, in this case a social media crawler, picks up the tweet for your registered customers, applies some of the machine learning algorithms and offer models that we have created very specifically on top of that using our customer DNA and customer genome patterns out there. Based on that, it is able to identify the value moment. When should I make an offer? As soon as you open up your Facebook, Twitter, any other channel? Or should I do it when it is at the right context and the right value, right? I noticed a friend suggesting something. As a customer, you are more attuned to listening to your friends and then taking action on it rather than a generic offer which somebody and anybody can go ahead and offer to you, right? That's the value of what just happened with the background. It involved Appian core platform, it involved machine learning, it involved a little bit of AI, and it involved a little bit of data analytics that we have thrown into the mix. But what you notice is just one single tweet out there. Interesting enough? But that's the power of the platform that it can bring to the table. If I go next out here, what happens typically is that we give out offers. What happens then? How many percentage of your customers actually take those offers? A minute percentage, right? Especially if it's on some of those kind of channels. That's exactly where we added the feedback loop to be able to follow through so that we can monetize this offer. Rather than this offer just sitting because we created an offer. We could have created it as a campaign, an offer, a marketing, not a problem. We want to follow through with a particular fundamental so that we can start monetizing. So we switch channels, we figured out this customer's fundamentals are also on text notifications, apart from his Facebook and Twitter. That's exactly when we started following up the next day so that we can keep on reminding that person, hey guys, you still have a 20% off coupon at that point of time. Would you want to do it, right? And the customer might be totally different. The customer is in a meeting, he saw the tweet, he comes back home, we push him another tweet at 11:30 in the night, right? When he is in the bed still scrolling through his phone and he doesn't want to use anything else. There is a conversational UI device next to his bed, maybe an Alexa, maybe a Google Home, maybe anything else. Let's see how does that get used now.
Talk to my camera app.
Let's get the test version of my camera app. Hello, Mr. Kumar. Glad to connect with you again. The photo you posted on Twitter was great. I see that you had also received an offer from Mecum for 20% off on lens on Twitter. Do you want to proceed with placing an order?
Yes.
So I don't think that was audible enough.
The model of your Mecum camera.
Yeah, sorry about that. But what just happened on that conversational UI, right, was a voice bot which asked Ashok, based on that tweet, Are you still interested in that offer? As soon as Ashok said yes, it repeated this particular offer, the product, and the price around it, and reminded it that your total cost is 20% lower, right? And it's valid only for the next 2 days at this point in time. Ashok decided to go ahead with the offer. He just said yes. He did not have to use his payments. He did not have to go through a website, check out, nothing else at that point of time. And that's exactly how this conversational UI came into place. Again, looks extremely easy. In your real life, when your chief digital officers want you to do all this song and dance, is it easy enough? You would go all out looking for a newer set of technologies, because Appian doesn't seem to be the right platform which we have played around in doing and connecting all of this. But in this case, if you design the right platform architecture, right, that's exactly what it does for you. Now, before we move forward, we forgot about our friends, the bots, right? How do we integrate bots into this entire conversation? So for this purpose, we gave them a set of mundane tasks. What are these mundane tasks? Again, in this digital world, it's because as MyCam, as a company, I push together an offer. I want to be proactive, that nothing drops till the fulfillment of that offer and even beyond. How do I do it at this point of time? So we figured out, right now, there is a 5 business day before Ashok can get the actual lens. Let me be proactive and keep on figuring out the notifications from my fulfilling agency and keep on pushing it to Ashok, and also keep on monitoring if he says, I don't need it anymore. Or if he says, hey, can I add a camera back? I want to keep on monitoring those conversations. So we assigned this bot a mundane task to go back, figure it across my 5 different systems of records that I typically have in an enterprise, figure it out across my orders or my systems of fulfillment, where my tracking number lies, because it does not lie with my customer master, right? Go to a third-party website for USPS and so on and so forth, whichever one that you use. Pull all this information together, give it back, pass to Appian, so that Appian can generate that email notification back to the customer, right? Or go ahead and do a retweet back saying, your order is on the way, 2 days, 3 days, 1 day, and so on and so forth. Now, why did we leverage a bot to do it? I could have built it using an API service for USPS as well. But it would not have helped me, because my data about that customer was in 7 different systems. My data about that system of fulfillment was in another 3 systems. And for me to piece this information all together and then take action, a bot was the most easiest way to get it done, right? Was it a zombie bot? No, we obviously added some more intelligence to some of these conversations as well, which means that in case the delivery was getting delayed, it generates a task back to Appian, and Appian can then go ahead and start doing some things on the fly and automatically change and say, hey guys, I care about you, and not generally a bot, a zombie bot doing the tasks that have been given to me. So that's how we stitch it all together. Yeah? Now, coming back to how do we recap this? What all did you see out here? Did you see with that simple tweet of an offer, so many building blocks of this architecture getting used? You saw a customer DNA, you saw the case management, you saw the real-time decisioning, you saw a set of API calls, you saw a set of cognitive AI, 6 different things getting used out there. And back to the presentation layer integration, right? One simple tweet. We still use the most available technologies that will already be in your landscape. You would have Appian, all of you are here, so I'm hoping most of you are either having it or are about to purchase it. Fantastic tool for you to purchase, yeah? Or you will have some robotics some way or the another. You would have some integration APIs running all over the place at any point of time. You would have played around with machine learning. If not, I absolutely encourage you to go about doing it. This is how we stitch it all together. So next time when you're taking a digital transformation journey, or if your bosses are troubling you, saying you're not doing enough stuff digital, you're just doing your HR onboarding and a customer onboarding here and there, show them this demo, call us in for a quick chat, and we can get you started on this journey. But thank you for your listening in and coming in the morning.